Hello, my name is Micah Perkins. I'm a professional counselor in Edmond, Oklahoma, and this is lesson number 4 in the mindfulness series. So if you remember, during the past 3 lessons, we've been focusing on different objects during meditation. So in the first lesson, it was focusing on our breath and noticing the sensation of breathing. And whenever those thoughts came up into our mind, we would just gently come back to the focus of meditation, which in that instance was our breath. In the second one, it was focusing on visual objects, such as a candle or incense. And when those thoughts arose, we would just gently go back to focusing on the object of meditation, which in that was a visual object. In the third, it was focusing on body sensations. So when we noticed those sensations, whether they were pleasant or unpleasant, we focused on those sensations, we noticed those sensations, but we did not have commentary about those sensations. We strove to not attach a story to them, but instead just focusing on the sensation, just noticing it. And so by now you've probably noticed that there's really these 2 different dynamics that are going on. One is your part of yourself that is experiencing the sensation. The other is this part of yourself that's the commentator, the one that's attaching all these stories and critiques to the experience. And so what we want to do during these times is to experience the sensation while kind of silencing as much as possible the commentator, so that we're just noticing and accepting the experience without having all these judgments about the experience. So today we're going to talk about my favorite exercise, which is called Mindful Moments. And Mindful Moments is just paying attention to different activities that you do throughout the day and the different sensations that you experience throughout the day. So, for example, let's say you're washing your hands. A lot of times when we wash our hands, we're thinking about all the things that we need to do or all the things that happened in the past, but we're really not paying attention to the present. So instead, taking the opportunity that whenever you're washing your hands, you're really just focusing on the sensations of the present, paying attention to the water and how the water feels on your hands as you're washing your hands, paying attention to the soap and how the soap feels as you're moving it around in your hands, paying attention to how the faucet feels as you're turning it on and off, how the towel feels as you're drying off your hands. Noticing all of those sensations as opposed to all these stories that go on in our mind, again, about the past or the future, or even all these stories that are critiquing the experience or adding commentary to the experience. You can do this with other activities as well. It's maybe washing dishes, also while you're outside, walking across a parking lot, noticing the wind and how the wind feels on your face, noticing how your foot feels as it's striking the pavement, noticing how your body feels as you're walking across the parking lot, paying attention to all these sensations that are always going on. They're always happening, but a lot of times we're too busy caught up in our mind, again, with all these stories of the past or the present or critiquing what's happening now, that we're really not paying attention to what's happening right there, right in front of us. So this is the lesson that I want you to practice this week, and I will see you next week.